Hi, this is Beverly with the Intuitive Interior. It is time for your December I Ching reading. So each month I draw 3 cards to kind of give you a little bit of a snapshot over what you might be able to expect for the lunar cycle that goes along with the Chinese way of telling time. So this reading goes from December 7th through January 4th. Yeah, a couple days late because, hey, it's December. So some of these things you might have already been finding happening for you. I know I certainly have. The first card that I drew is number 40. The card is titled Deliverance, and it has the hexagram with the kan, the water symbol on the bottom, with zhen, the symbol for yang wood. This combination is a little more uplifting because you've got the water feeding the wood, the trees. Think about trees on that above. So that's a nice one. The deliverance card words on the bottom here are release, relief, a fresh approach, liberation from obstruction, finding a solution, and exhilaration. So you can, in the image here, you see there's the man who's celebrating the fact that the storm has finally broke. It's like, think about that relief you get when there's a period of drought and suddenly the skies open up and there you go. But there's that in between time where you're like that anticipation, that pressure building up. So that's kind of where what this card is kind of warning against. The focus line on it is number 2. It says the aftermath of a particularly wild storm can either bring out the best or the worst in people as everybody scrambles to find their bearings. The wise will keep their wits about them in the knowledge that once all the excitement has passed, a newly washed and luminous landscape will reveal exactly where everybody stands. Make sure that you are hanging out in a place where you are happy to be seen. There's a piece that in the main body of the card description that really speaks to the need of looking around and okay, now after the storm has come, yes, finally we've got this rain, it's wonderful, but any storm brings about a little bit of destruction. And so you need to look around to see, well, okay, we've got this clear sky, we've got water now, this is great. Oh, now it's time to take care of the limbs that are and everything else that has fallen off. It's also very important to make sure that you are being very clear and honest with yourself, that if you have any cleanup in your own thought processes, that you need to focus on that first. It is a good window of time to kind of, again, take that step back and get that perspective on whatever has been going on, whatever that pressure that has been building up, to say, oh, okay, yes, I'm celebrating the pressure. The relief is I've got that relief. But as we also know, sometimes after something really big has happened, there's a little bit of a letdown. So just be aware, just notice these things and don't get too attached to them. Don't make that part of your identity. Make it that, okay, it is a thing. You can just notice it as a thing. The next card is number 59, and it's called Dispersion. If you look at the image, you can see all the leaves blowing around. We're in fall right now here in the Northern Hemisphere. And so we have all the leaves are just all the dropping. The card here, okay, the hexagram here, you again have the water, the kan symbol with that's underneath the sun, the yin wood symbol. So yin wood again is like the vines, things that need support, that will grow up. Again, supportive, nurturing energy coming up here. Dispersion is diffuse negativity, restore harmony, circulate, revitalize, dissolve divisions, and lighten up. Just so, okay, because I can't quite speak apparently. This number 59, the focus line was number 5. Number 5 says, if you are completely at a loss as to what to do about an inner or outer war of competing factions, it might be time to retreat to the mountaintop where the air is fresh and you can clear your head. When you come back down, your readiness to embrace a new reality is likely to be contagious. The challenge with the yin wood, with having that much energy underneath the yin wood, vines can choke out, the rest of the vegetation around. So you have to be careful that that's why you need to take that time to step back to make sure that, okay, I am knowing, what direction I need to go. I'm not just being carried along by, everybody else's stuff. This whole card talks a lot about, or speaks to the need to look at where you've been rigid in your life. Where do you need to bring in that bendability, that divining quality? Are you wanting to be the supportive part? Are you willing to look at things from that different perspective? That's why you can go on the mountaintop again. But you also need to make sure that you're not coming at it, from a place of harshness, and just basically just question, why do I believe this? Maybe I need to just, again, take that step back. So, although this one sentence, pretty important, says, it is pointless to attempt reunification while any of the parties are still suffering from emotional chaos. In order to reconnect from a place of centeredness and groundedness, it is important for each of us to do our own work. If we're expecting other people to take the first step and be the healthy ones in the group, then that's asking a lot more. Because if we're not willing to do that for ourselves, then why would we be, ask that other people to do that? So anyway, the last card is number 26. It's called the Taming Power of the Great. So they've got this, looks like a representation of the Buddha sitting there. To somebody who's deep in contemplation. It is self-discipline, concentration, strengthen your character from within, self-awareness, and realizing potential. The hexagram here has the Qian trigram on the bottom. That's the Yang metal, and then Gun right above, or Gen, Yang earth. So you've got a lot of stability here. Think about the Yang metal is, it's like a big block of iron. And then you have the Yang earth. It's like, a big mountain. So you have a mountain sitting on top of a hard object. Hence self-discipline, looking at, well, how is it that I can stay focused? How can I, what am I looking for? The focus line is number 5. And it says, nature, in all her wisdom and compassion, eternally strengthens all her creatures by challenging them, redefining the status quo by breaking it down, and restoring the balance by nurturing the new that is born from the chaos. Meditation is the wisdom key that unlocks the door of understanding, enabling you to drop your resistance to change and say yes to life. It will sharpen your ability to distinguish truth from fantasy and identify the hidden gold in difficult circumstances that transforms such circumstances into food for the soul. In order to be able to determine, as I said, what is fantasy and what is, reality, you again have to go within. Going into meditation, find that stillness, find that contemplation, be able to become self-aware. There's always this talk about, being woke or not being woke, or, red pill, blue pill. Some of those things, even though you might say, oh, I'm woke, I've got all this together, I know, I see through things. Do you really? Because maybe you're actually being told something from other people that they think they've got everything together. This particular sentence from the main body of the card reading is, be aware of a tendency to make molehills into mountains so that you get to be heroic and clever while demonstrating the ability to leap tall trouble in a single bound. It said, don't be misled in this way, lest you deprive yourself of the opportunity to reap the real benefits of facing the actual life challenges at hand. The only way to deal with the challenges you are facing is not through histrionics, but with awareness, inner composure, and integrity. So when you take all three cards together, again, there's a repeating symbolism in the way that I'm interpreting these. It is, go ahead and have fun and enjoy yourself, but be aware that there still are things that need to be taken care of. Taking the time to step away from the chaos of whatever's happening so that you can gain a new perspective, and then take that time to go within and see, where are you able to become your best self in order to move through the rest of this 2021 year of the metal ox energy, because we've only got one more month of that, and then we move into the yang water tiger energy, and I'll be doing some more information on that, but it's very different energy coming up. So just take a deep breath, know there's some pressure that's going to get relieved, be aware that you might have the tendency to get swept up into all of the excitement, and then go hug a tree. Just trust me, go hug a tree. You'll feel a lot better. Thanks so much. If you have any feedback, I'd love to see it. Go ahead and subscribe, like, and share. Appreciate your time. Have a happy December.